So, hello. There's also, I want to announce that there will be 2 weekends I planned. One in December, 3 and 4 December. I will do it in Amsterdam. So you're very welcome in Amsterdam. And there will be a meeting much earlier, 1 and 2 October in San Francisco in the United States. So if you live there in the surroundings or whatever, you're very welcome. That will be nice to see you there. And there's also, and that I noticed there are some people using that already. There's a possibility to do a one-to-one meeting. You can always phone me. That's just for free. But if you want some longer time, then we can do a Skype meeting or maybe a Zoom together. And then I ask, so like 25 euros, if that's okay for you. If it's too much, we discuss it. It doesn't matter. So that's also possible. Okay, so I start my talking. Yesterday it was for the first time, so now I'm already used now. And now it's a bit new. It's a bit new to start with the meetings. This is very, very simple. It's a message. It's even too simple to say how it is. And that's strange because we're so used to say something about how to live your life, have a method to do things in life. And this message is saying there's no one. There's no one. There's no one. It doesn't mean that there's you here and there's no one inside. It's more than that. It's even there's nothing existing. It seems like, and it's very convincing that there's someone inside and that's you deciding or you have a free will. That's the normal way in the story of me, in this just the whole story of the world. And then there's this message, and some people are sharing that and saying there's no me. Everything is an appearance. So nothing is real. Only apparently real. And that's it can be completely new, and it's not something you can understand. And that's what we normally try to do, try to understand, try to make things clearer. So when we understand, we think, oh, then I can much more easier lead my life or manage or make my life work. This is not about making your life work or feeling something to let you feel more happy, things like that. It's what it is. It's what it is. And that's so simple. You can't go around outside and say, yeah, people, this is what it is. And I say to you, yeah, thank you. So it's not a message that gives something to somebody. It's just a describing how it is, and that's it. But it's a describing very, very literally, without any concept or belief in it. And that's something else, that we are so used to concepts and beliefs, we don't even know they are concepts and beliefs, because it's so normal to think like that. And then there's suddenly hearing something else, and that can loosen concepts maybe or not. I don't know. But there's nothing here to try to convince or to do something, because it's not seen that there's anybody. So there's no agenda. There's no agenda in this meeting. There's nothing going on like wanting you to hear it or get an opening or understanding. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that's strange. We're not used to that nothing matters. Because when there's someone, and you see there's other ones, and maybe they're seeing there's the world and circumstances, it seems like very important that you do the right thing. There's something underneath always, like there's something not right yet, there's something missing maybe, or there's not really, like it's not everything. So there's a search, there's a drive to get it right, or to work on it, or do things to make it work. And then suddenly there's a hearing like, oh, it's already complete. It's already complete. It doesn't feel like that, because we are so into, there's an image of sort of perfection, maybe complete relaxation or complete happiness or something else. And it's never there. It will never, you will never reach that. And it's not because of you, but because of this is already complete. And the completeness is, life is everything. It's everything. So there can be every feeling, there can be the wall. Life is not about you. Life isn't interested in individuals. It's everything. There's no meaning in life. It's just what it is, and it's energetic. It's like that. And doesn't have any clue for individuals or special people or trying to do something. Life is just what it is, without any purpose or meaning. And then we seem that because we can abstract and we can see like, oh, there's somebody else. And we think, oh, we are capable of deciding, and because we're deciding things, then because of me, things are happening. And it seems like there's a free will. So life is about me and about how I do, how I behave. That's what we learn most of the time. And then suddenly there's a hearing of, no, it's not about you. This message has nothing to do with you. There is no you, or no me, whatever we can say. So that's a threat of the identity, because there's a lot of investment in me. There's a lot of investment in trying to live your life in the best way you can. And then suddenly there's like, oh, there's no one, and there's no decision, and even there's no time. So there's no before and after. Come on, I was born, maybe I'm dying, and there's a whole life in between. And then suddenly there's a hearing of, there's no time. There's no time, there's only this. Time is also an appearance in the story of me. There can be, it's not saying there is no time at all, because in the story there seems to be time, and we are starting at 11, things like that. The planning can happen, but it's all an appearance. So I don't know if it will happen, and when it happens, it seems like that. But everything is an appearance, so nothing is really happening. That's also something. There's no Rose that has no me anymore. There's no Rose. There seems to be a person here, and there seems to be I am someone. They're seeing Rose also as someone. And maybe there are a lot of ideas about how Rose is, or trying to get to know how Rose does things. It has nothing to do with this. It doesn't matter what Rose is. It's just some character seems to be there. But it's already complete. So the way the looking of the face, the way the words are coming, it's life. It's here, but it's everywhere. So life is already complete. It can't be not complete. It's complete as it is. That's life. It's diverse. It's unique. It's everywhere. And there's, of course, in that, no good or wrong. There can't be good or wrong. It's already complete. So what's happening? It's just what's happening. That's it. And it can be nice. It can be anger. It can be anything. But that's what's happening. And in the story, it's always, because it's about two, me and you and me and the world, so two. And then there's also good and wrong. And then they're starting to feel like, oh, I want to be a good person, and how can I do that, and what's the right behavior? It's an endless search for something that isn't existing. There is no good person. There is no right behavior. It's just behavior. It's just what's happening. So there's no agenda. There's nothing really to say. And even when there are questions, they're not really an answer in the way that there's giving something. There's nothing given. But that's strange, because we are used to ask something and get something, maybe, or not, and we are angry on that or something. And when there's nothing given, because there's nothing to give, because everything is already complete, so it can't be like that there's something to give. There's no need for anything. That's the joy. That's also the freedom. It's just like it is. No need for help, no need for anything. It's already that. That's the joy. So we can discuss that, and maybe there are a lot of questions, and you don't have to have questions about non-duality things. Maybe there are questions about personal life or anything. It doesn't matter. It can be any question or any sharing of things. So if you want to say something, please, you can unmute yourself and we'll start talking. Or chatting, or there can be a chat.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I saw you on a non-duality meeting with Tony.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's already in Kislek.
In Kislek, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you went on a journey, and now I see you again, but all of that didn't happen, didn't it?
No.
That's the story.
Right. It can be a memory, but a memory isn't this. It's here. But it's weird when you think about things that did happen about the past something. It's a bit like, did it really happen? I hear a lot of people say that. It's like, it's not sure. There's something about it that, did it happen? It seems like it didn't happen. Something. I hear people say that.
Yeah, like a dream a bit. Like.
Yeah. There can be some memories, of course, but they are this. It's this. Yeah. It's so instant. It's so only this. And we are so into, there's some past, and maybe there's a future, and there's a relation and all that. And then it's only this. And that's so simple. It can't be some problem or something else, because it's only moving ahead, a memory maybe, or the wall. It's not about us also, because everything we're busy with is like me is the center of what is happening and busy with that. And then suddenly, when there's no me, or when that construct is not there anymore, me is not important. It's not about Rose. There's also a wall. It's the same importance in that sense. It's not the same. But... So it's not about Rose or anyone. No. That's the freedom.
So the attention just spontaneously goes somewhere.
Sorry, the
attention.
Yeah.
When there's nothing more important than something else, then it really doesn't matter what you focus on or what is.
But there's no focusing anymore. When there's no me, when there's me, there's always trying to have attention of the somewhere. It's the sitting. I'm aware of sitting. That's a kind of awareness, something like that. You can see yourself sitting. When that isn't there, there's no awareness. So there's also no attention or focus, It's just what is happening.
So attention and focus is still the function of the illusion.
Yeah, of me. Yeah. And trying to focus in the right, that's what, like being in the now, things like that, to attention in the now or something or that. It's just, it's an endless search for doing the right thing and feeling like it's now the way, that's all right. It's me trying to be, in the right direction, or it's a search. It's me. Yeah. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It doesn't matter. If that's what's going on, then that's what's going on. So what? It's just all right. But it's like when they're talking about it, it's just me trying to look for something. Yeah.
One last question. The voice in the head.
The voice.
Yeah, the thoughts.
Yeah.
It's for no one, no? There's no one spoken to.
No, but for the thoughts can happen. We think it's happening in the head, but it's not in the head. It's not somewhere. It's somewhere in space. That body is an appearance, so it's not real. It's appearance. So it's energy, and we are so convinced it's in the head or in the body or things like that. It's free. It's just energy, like thoughting. We think it's mine. It's not yours. It's just thoughts happening somewhere. It has nothing to do with, we talked about that yesterday. It had also nothing to do with me. Thought can happen. It has nothing, and then me jumps, that's the story, but me jumps on it and thinks, oh, it's mine. It's take claim of everything. So, and try to do something with it, or don't want it, or something else. Now, here there can be thoughts, of course, there can be thoughts, and it comes and goes, and there's nothing going on like, I want that, or it's not good, or it doesn't happen. It's not that I do something with that, or no, it's lost. There's no escape, there's just thought. Maybe there are a lot of thoughts, then that's what's happening.
Some people talk about no mind, like no thoughts.
Yeah.
But that's something completely different, or it's...
Yeah, it has nothing to do with this message. It seems like that's when there's no thoughts anymore, then that's the top of the hill. It's denying that it's saying thoughts are wrong. No, it's just thoughts. Everything is it. So it's thoughting or watching television. I don't know. Nothing is wrong. And that's completely different than those messages. There's nothing wrong. Everything is it. And that's we're not used to. That it's everything. We're used to this is it and this is not it. And what can we do to do the right thing? And we go to different people maybe because they're saying something about it. And this is saying, oh, it's everything. It's already complete. Nothing to look for because it's that what's happening. So when there are thoughts, there are thoughts. So that's life. That's the joy. It's everything. So no need to look for something, no need to do or anything. Yeah. And it's very simple also. You don't need to understand different kind of explanations and try to about awareness and being the first step and the second step or things like that. It's much more simple. It's just what it is. So it's moving the hand. That's it. And that's already the case. So nothing to learn. But there's somewhere, and that's me. That's that me construct is saying that can't be that. It has to be, and then suddenly that.
It's to be something.
Yeah, it has to be something. That's so, and it's maybe even not in the head, in the thoughts, but it's so embodied, that whole structure about looking for something and surviving. It's a survival system. So it can be very strong or not. It's so different. And then there's part of this message can be heard, and some parts can be taken home and with a subtle change, and then thinking, oh, I don't have to do anything. It's not what's said here, but it can be heard like that. So that's also what happens. But it doesn't matter, because that's what life is. It's everything. It can be like hearing that or hearing this. So then that's it. It's going nowhere. It's an appearance. So it's not about there's something real and it's serious and we have to do some this or some that. It's
And
not
this
serious.
has nothing to do with the improvement of the parent person. Like there's
No,
no,
because there's already no identity, no individual. There's already not there. It seems like there's someone, and it's very convincing, and we live in that for many years, of course. And then we think there has to be improvement or doing or much more relaxation or no cramps anymore or things like that. And then there's already no me. So there's no free will, there's no choice, but there's no need for that, because it's that what's happening is it. It doesn't mean it's nice. We think we have to look for something to be happy or relaxed or things like that. But life is everything. It's eating a lion, eating an antelope. It's like eating cheese. It's everything. So there's, in that sense, there's no difference. It's just everything. No need to improve. Who is there? There's no one. And that what's going on, the way the sitting happens, sitting like this, or looking or hearing certain words, that's it. That's already, falling my things out of the ear. It's everything.
it's so deeply ingrained that there's something that needs to be done or improved or worked on.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole society is about that.
Yeah. The strange thing is, there's no society. There's also no world.
Yeah. All of that
It's so deeply embodied. There's something wrong, and that's showing in the world, in circumstances. That's the energy. That's something like, there's something wrong somewhere or missing, and how can we find it? What can we do? It's so energetic, so embodied. So this message is then it's not about being clear or something like that. That's superficial. It's much more energetic and like that. There's so many concepts and beliefs about what has to be done and what is wrong and things like that. Yeah, sure. And maybe in these meetings there's something like, and maybe it's not even noticed, but there can be a relief or something. Or maybe it's like, and that's getting stronger. It's energetic. But that's it. That's when that's happening, then that's happening. That's unique for all those bodies.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking. There's a question. It seems like things are going wrong continually. It's almost too much for me, although before I was a joyful and positive person. It seems like things are going wrong. But it can't be wrong. It's maybe there's a feeling like stress or sadness or something. Then that's what's happening. It can't be wrong. Nothing is wrong. That's what we, on top of that, there's something happening. And on top of that, we're used to have an overview and look at yourself and think like, oh, everything is going wrong and I'm not that positive anymore. This is not about being positive or being joyful all day. It's everything. So it can change. Nothing is all day or always. Then there's eating cheese, then there's coffee, then there's looking at the wall or walking. It's very, very literally. We are used to see it like, oh, I'm all day, I'm feeling not positive, and yesterday maybe it was the same, and think we're so used to think in stories, but there's no story. There's only this and maybe that. And it's very literally. It's sitting, it's watching the lamp. It's only that. It's that simple. It can't be that simple, because then where are we? How is it living? It's that simple. It's that literally. And that's it, hearing a noise. And it's not about focusing. When there's hearing a noise, looking at that noise, then that's it. Not hearing what's being said here, then that's it. So what? There's no need for anything. That what's going on is it. It's not about joy. It can be joy, but when I'm talking about joy, it's underneath somewhere. And it's very subtle. It doesn't feel all the time like, oh, I'm feeling good. There can be also sadness or anger or feelings I don't even know what it is, or nothing, and just sitting. It's not about me. It's not about me or you. It's life, so it's plants. And it can be changed, but not for you. There's no one already.
Hello, Rose.
Hi, hello.
I wanted to add to that about the thoughts. The more attention you give to thoughts, the intense they grow. Would you see that also that way?
Sorry, I can't understand. The more attention.
The more attention you give to thoughts,
Yeah.
the bigger they grow, the more intensity they have.
That can happen, yeah, but there's no free will, so that can happen, but you can't change that, or you can't say this. Yeah, you can say this. Oh, I don't need to do that, or it's better not to do that. When there's a lot of thoughts and there's of attention, then that's what's happening, and that's it. This is no escape. So we're always looking for the best way to deal with what we are doing, or something like that. And there is no best way. No, it's what's going on, and that when there's a lot of attention to that, and it's getting bigger and bigger, then that's what's happening. Can be like that. It's not wrong. It's not right either. We're looking to what's going on. We say, that's what that awareness or overview, or how do you say it, always looking at yourself, what am I doing? And it's getting bigger. So that's about psychology also, like discussing about what's the best way. And when you do that, that makes it bigger. So it's better not to do that. So there's always something you don't do right. And this is, in this message, it's not about right or wrong. It's just describing, that's what's happening. So it's a bit annoying sometimes, because then you say, yeah, I know that's what's happening, but I'm looking for something, but there's no answer to that. It's just really, it's what's happening, and it's not wrong. It's not about feeling nice. This is not about feeling nice and that looking for something. It's looking for feeling of joy or happiness or something. And that's here, it's not about that. It's everything. Then maybe there's a feeling, or then there's a lot of thoughts. Then that's it.
Yeah, there's a knowing here that there is no control at all.
Yeah.
And the way this is felt, well, in daily life, usually it's okay, but I do have some triggers, like politics or politicians not knowing what they're doing. That's the way it feels, not just for me, but many, like in Europe with the energy prices rising, and people being feeling not secure anymore. If they can make ends meet with prices rising. So it's yeah, it's I do have some triggers like those when I hear the news. It's just like it's sometimes better not to. I just cannot. Sometimes it's just information, but sometimes it just it drives me crazy. So
yeah. It's getting mad about those people. Yes. Yeah. But then that's what's going on. And then the only thing I can say, no, it's just information, and then seeing that or reading it in the paper or that. And when there's a reaction like getting angry or so, then there's getting angry. That can happen here too. That can go, what a person. Yeah, then that's it, and then it's gone, and it's not real. Nothing is. It's an appearance. It's the world is not real. That's just seeing that same thing about things are right or wrong and doing the right thing, and that whole structure is seeing in the world. It's the same as it's more close. It's busy with doing the right thing and people doing not the right thing, all those right and wrong things. And that's when there's getting mad, then that's angry, then there's feeling angry, and then that's gone, and then there's drinking coffee or something else.
Yes, just, I mean, of course there's no past, I know that, but when I look at the way 2 years ago, 3 years ago, COVID started, and they had news that we won't have any food anymore and there won't be any supplies anymore. And I remember neighbors going to the store and buying like 20 or 30 yogurts.
Oh, yeah. Here it was the paper for the toilet.
Yes, and same thing. Just and looking back at that, it's just crazy. It just it wasn't true at all. But our brains, our thoughts were just in the mode of getting security.
Yeah.
And looking back, it's like it was just a big hoax. It was just a big joke.
Yeah. But that's always, there seems to be a crisis, and then there's a reaction on that because we want to feel safe, and there will be a control. There's a fear of losing control. That's what me has. That it's how do you say, it's playing out in the world like, oh, there's no control, help. That's in the tiny thing, but also in the world it's like that. We want to have control, and then there's suddenly no control because there's a virus, that's something not seen, so that's more we are more frightened for that. And but that's the same as looking in yourself and seeing there's no control. There's no control at all. It feels like, oh, I don't have nothing to hold on. There's no safety. It's because everything seems real. That's what me has. It seems like everything is real when there's no control. That's very frightening. But when it's seen, that it's not even seen. But when it's obvious that everything is an appearance. So control doesn't matter. There's already no control, but it's no big deal. There never was control. That's the funny thing. So there never was control. So nothing really changes in that sense. It's not feeling more safe when there's no me and it's obvious there's no control. It's not more safe. There's nothing going on about that. It's not knowing. There's no safety. There's no control there. But so what? It doesn't matter. But when there's me, it seems like everything is real. We have to do something with it. I have to because everything is so real and solid, and it seems like I have to survive in those circumstances. There's no need to survive because there's no one, and it's not real. It's an appearance. So that's too much to understand, but somewhere there can be a hearing of something else. You don't even know what it is, but there can be something going on like, oh. And most people don't even want to hear this and go on in that circle, but there's here somewhere, oh, there's another possibility. But this is not about understanding, and that's strange because normally everything can be understood, it seems. This is not.
I really like what you said right now. There's no need to survive. I like that. It's very freeing. It's very freeing because I have this thing of finding security, of escaping the situation, or getting away, or But there's no need to survive.
Yeah, that's strange because that can be so convincing, and that everything, that whole body is like in that, and then suddenly hearing that, and that it can be a relaxation, but it can be also frightening because oh my God, then there's no control. You can hear, maybe there's no control, but in the body there's feeling something else. And there can be a fear, but then there's fear. So there can be fear here also. It can be fear or any feeling. So, and then that's it's not even my fear. We are so into, this is my body, this is my life, this is, I'm responsible to make it work. And then there's hearing, oh, there's no responsibility. It's not my life. It's just life going in any way, and we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. That's the saying, no, there's only not knowing. So you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening, but it doesn't matter. And then there will be, I don't know, it can be anything. Life doesn't change when there's no me or so. Or that's it. But because it's seen, the funny thing is, there was a little bit of sadness when this was there. They're like, oh, but it was always like that. And I did so much to get myself more relaxed and think. I did work so hard. And then suddenly, and it's not wrong, but it was like, oh, like that, something like that. And then, but it's not wrong. It's like, what's going on? That's so convincing. But there's no need for anything. That's the freedom.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, there's another one about, I think, like things are going wrong. She said, with wrong, I mean medical mistakes on the body. But anything can happen. In the story everything is about right and wrong, so there can be a mistake in that sense. But that's what's happening. And there can be a feeling of anger or, I don't know. Anything can happen. It's not saying everything is all right or so. No, it's not wrong, but it's also not right. It's just describing what's happening. There's no, I don't know what's right or wrong. No, we don't know. That isn't there. Anything can happen. Look around. That's what's going on. But then there's a whole story about what should be done, and he's there, that story, that's lost. There's no escape of what's going on. So that can happen here, that there's going to the hospital and they take my leg. I don't know. Like, anything can happen. You don't know. That's life. And then that's what's happening. And it won't be like that, oh, that's okay. No, I don't know what will be the reaction. I don't know. You don't know. Oh, there's some chat again. So, so are we just like animals, for example, monkeys, but with a thinking mind? Yeah, that's the same. That's the same. Yeah, sure. And there's what people, the brain can abstract. So that seems like there's a free will and choice, and that we are better than anyone else, or better than the animal world or things like that. Of course, it's not better. That's also that thinking and that believing that there, and being able to abstract and believing I'm here and it's about me. It can be it's something. It has something arrogant, like being more than anyone else and being able to make your life work or make the world better. No, it doesn't work, I see. So it's going on like, oh, we have to do this, and other people are like, oh no, but that's the right thing, and it's completely the opposite, and it's an endless. When it's about good and wrong, it's endless. So it's not about right or wrong. That's a complete misunderstanding, but it's so embodied, and it's not about me either. It seems that there is a me. It's the top of that whole survival system, like, oh, there's something wrong, we have to make it right. And then there's on top of that, you could see it, that's the boss. That's me, like I am deciding, or this is my free will. There's no control. It's just life like that. And it's playing out that whole thing about we are the right, this is wrong, and you see that in the world and in circumstances. There's no right and wrong. There's just what's happening. That's it. No free will, like animals. Yeah. Yeah. That's the freedom also. No free will. Not being able to say, what do I want? I can't say, what do you want? But yeah, you can say that or think about, but so what? It's life. Life is what's going on. It's not about Rose or anyone. It's free, but it's freedom for no one. We are looking for something for ourselves. It's endless, an endless search for something for you that you feel more comfortable or more happy. Life is not about you. Life is what it is. That's the freedom. It's not about Rose or anybody. The Rose is not important. There's no Rose. It's just that silly buddy thing like that. It's just that. Oh, it's not always silly, but it's just that. It's not serious. There's no road to something, or there's no truth in the words. Don't take it home, those words of Rose. It's not about the words also. It's something happening in these meetings when talking about this happened, and there's underneath that there's something going on, that energy. That's it. And that has nothing to do with Rose or anybody else. Ah, there's another one. There's a family member who needs help financially and with life in general. Can I give help to this person? Can I make this person happy? You're asking to me. If I give you permission, I give you permission. No, of course not. I don't know. It's not up to me. I'm not the boss of everything. I don't know anything. It's not me that knows all the answers. I don't know anything. There's just coming out some words. That's it. So when something is happening, then maybe there's something happening, but there's no choice. So we think there's free will and choice, and we can think about and then make a decision about helping or not helping. Maybe that there's giving something to somebody, then that's what's happening. That's just what's going on. And that has nothing to do with a decision or free will. It's just what's happening. So it doesn't say you can't give some money to somebody. You can give money to me. That's for sure. No, it's about what's going on. So when that's happening, that's what's going on. That's not up to you. There is no you or here someone that can decide anything or can say this is right or this is wrong. There's nothing right or wrong. That doesn't, when they're saying there's no need for help, that's not saying you can't do something and give some money to somebody or something else. When that's going on, then that's going on. But it's talking about something in the whole me story about it's very important to help others and very important to give something and do your best to make the world better, things like that. Then they're saying there's no need for that. But when it's happening, then that's what's happening. It's not, nothing is wrong. And in the story, it seems like giving help, but it's much more simple. Then the whole story is about there's somebody else and there's going on and I'm giving that or that. There's just that. And there's maybe some giving money or doing something on the computer. That's it. And then it's already not there. So it doesn't happen. It didn't happen also. It's crazy. This message is crazy. It's not about a story. There is no story. And the only thing there seems to be is a story with other people and how we can deal with everything that goes on. And then this message is completely out of that. It's another possibility. There's just this. Nothing more than that. And then sometimes there's talking in the story about there's no need for help and in the same time, nothing is happening. So it's cutting completely the understanding and trying to know or understand or hear what's the best thing. So it's taken out of the hand. It's not by me, but it's life like that. It's not. There's no way. There's no best way. There's no possibility to choose. It's just like that, going like that. It's just describing that. And sometimes explaining in the story. And when there's somebody helping, then that can happen or not. And it's not wrong when there's not helping. So, but it's also not right when there's somebody helping. It's just what's happening. It's very neutral, this message. Everything is neutral. That's the freedom. We think we have to do the right thing. There's no right thing. It's a dream. And then somebody saying, I want this. I'm doing this wrong. Oh, God, sweetheart. Yeah, I know. I did it. I was with Tony Parson. I was like, oh, my God, how can you? What is this? I want to do. Yeah, sure. And I couldn't hear. He was already all same as here. He was saying, but it's already that. It's already what's going on. And I said, no, it can't be. Yeah, it is. No, I said, no. And it's so strong. It's so convincing. This is not about hearing and then understanding this. It's something energetic. And that feeling like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. There's some. It's not that what I'm. That can be so strong. Then that's what's happening. That's not wrong. That's also it. But that doesn't feel like it like that, because it feels like, oh no, I don't get it, or it's not there. And yeah, there's still a me. People say, like, yeah, there's still a me. Yeah, then that's so convincing that there's me. I can say no, there's not, but it's just that words. It's just words. And this is more energetic. So this is not about understanding or making things. Maybe sometimes things get clearer, but that can happen. But there's something. This is about loss. It's not about getting something or making it to something. It's the development of things. It's about loss, and that's something me doesn't want. That whole story is like we want to develop or to get it clear or to make it like finally feel like, oh yeah. And this is about loss, and it's sometimes loss is not noticed. So there's something gone, but it's not even noticed. So that is not like, oh, like insights. That gives a good feeling, like an insight, like, oh yeah, now I understand. And in this message, that's in a way the awful thing of this message. It's not about insight that it's clear. It's about, there's no control. Oh, it can be like that. And it's so different. And it's not about understanding. So we are used to get it clear or understand. And then there's something else. It's taken out of the hand, and it's not what you ever thought it was. And then, but and there's somewhere, maybe there's a hearing, and somewhere it can't be that it's like this. It's just this. It's the way the body is moving, the words are coming out. It's that already. It's that already. The way the face is looking. That's it. Not about nice or not nice. It's just that. It's already that. You can't be wrong. That's something that in the dream of me, that's about you. This is right, this is wrong. It's a dream. It's just what's happening. And you can't say it's not. It's not. It's that. But we think, oh, what is happening? Oh, but I should done. Or maybe there's something else. That when that's there, that can be that strong. That's why this is energetic. That can happen. The funny thing is, when you say, I want this, it's already this. So what is there more to want? It's already what's going on. It's sitting like that. It's moving in a way. That's it. It's so simple. It's so close. It's closer than close. It's already what's going on. That's it. Nothing more or less. So it's already.
Hey, Rose.
Hi, Jan.
You hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You said it's energetic, and as far as I remember, you work on the energetic work. You've done energetic work before,
Mm,
and as far as I understand, everything's energy. There's no special energy.
mm, yeah.
Everything is just energy. Could you say
Mhm.
something about this? Because it's when you say it's energetic, what do you mean with that? I just today see a report about someone who do a special qigong form, and he said, okay, that improved the life force and all that stuff. And there are a lot
Mm,
of energy
mm,
things out there. Um,
mm.
Somehow it seems that energy could get stronger, weaker. Could you say something about this kind of energy? There's just one energy, as far
Yeah,
as I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. It's different. It can be low and
Yeah,
that's fun. But nothing is better than something else. But and there's also that's what normally goes on. That the belief that there's someone can do something about what's the energy in the body is going on, like helping to relax more in a certain way. There's some methods about doing that. But that's with the belief that there's someone and there's something wrong with what's going on because it doesn't feel good. We say, and that what this message is like. It's not about feeling good. It's everything, and it's not here. Why I say it's also energetic, and it's because it's not about understanding. Some people are very clear in this message and very can say about how things work and how that is. There's no me already in free will, and can explain that very beautifully. But it's not about understanding of being clear because that's very superficial in a way that we are used to. There's something, and that's in an explanation in the story. There's something going on that belief that I am here and there's something wrong and there's something missing and that's so embodied. And those concepts and beliefs are and emotions it's so embodied like that. And then so uh, that's the energetic thing. So then when there's a loss of me, you could say, it's not me only. It's that whole survival system that doesn't have any power anymore. It doesn't have any power, of course, but it's so difficult to explain because in one way you could say it doesn't have any power, so it's just gone, and in the same time it never had power. So it's very when there's an explaining, it's in the same time it's saying there's not. So that's the funny thing of this message. It's that you can talk in the story and in the same time nothing is happening because it wasn't already the case. But it's so convincing that that whole structure of being someone and being able to decide or to have a free will and do things. And people say, yeah, there's no me and there's no free will, but there can be being busy with, and then there's a subtle way of talking without mentioning me maybe, and then about changing energy or doing something with energy. But it's still the same story about having to change something because it doesn't feel relaxed still. This is not about feeling relaxed. This is, and that's that whole structure of me is about wanting to feel good. There's something lost and it doesn't feel like, oh, and there's some, how do we say, some drive to make it right. And then there's an image somewhere, but maybe it's not even very clear, like total relaxation or total knowing or anything like that. And this is, it's never will be that because it's always denying that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing right either. There's also, it's everything is empty. It's not someone deciding. It's life. already. It never has been not life. Life is like that, and there can be feelings and there can be thoughts about that, but it always seems like it's mine. And that energetic part is that it's in the it's in the story, it's in the body, and then suddenly there can be still stress in the body, but there's nothing going on like picking it up or so. It's very difficult to describe what is the difference when there's no me anymore, because it's already no me. So then describing that is also describing it in the story, which is in the same time not happening. So, but in the story, it's very energetic, it's very embodied. And when this message is heard, you could say, sometimes concepts are lost and beliefs are not so strong anymore. So in that sense, it's loosening. It's maybe the body isn't relaxing, but that whole system and that survivaling and that me construct is not that strong anymore. And that's that energetic part. And that is in these meetings, that is where it's about. It's not in the word. Maybe it's also in the word a bit, but it's underneath. There's going on something energetic, and it's what I noticed. For example, like an example, it's when I was going to the meetings of Tony Parsons a long time ago. Afterwards, there was a lot of energetic reaction. Here, it was in the body. And it was like trembling in the night. But it was also, I didn't know what was going on. That can be also, it can be some concepts that really like, you was really into that. And then suddenly you can't believe it anymore. So that's the energetic part, so as I see it. But there's no one doing that. There's no possibility to change or do something with it, but there's also no need, because it's not about feeling good. It's not about us in that sense.
Would you say that the apparent experience to be a person more or less is a kind of reduced form of energy? When the me falls away, there's a free flowing of energy?
Yeah, but
kind of.
That it's a contraction. Then because we wants to behave, or that contraction can be gone, but that doesn't mean it's total relaxation. There can be some stress in the body, but that contraction about I want or that and what could I do, that's gone in that sense. But here, this body is still. There can be still. Contracted energy in that sense that it can be contracted. The body can contract or can be fear, like then there's contraction also. But it's very difficult to describe, because then it seems to be something, and it's just that what's happening. So there can be like and then it's gone again. But there's nothing going on anymore about why or that, and that's always there. Always. Now it's not always there. It's so difficult, because it's one way I try to describe, and in the same time think no, it's not like that, and it's both. So that's weird.
Energy is also not the whole thing. It's not the kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's a strange thing.
And it's always free, of course. But we think it's not, because we're feeling not free. We have a certain image of what is that feeling free. So the freedom is not in how the body is feeling. That's not the freedom. The freedom is that there's no need to change. There's nothing going on to change anything, and there's nothing right or wrong. That's the freedom. It has nothing to do with circumstances or how the body feels or anything. It has nothing to do with that. That's the freedom.
And how does your connection with your body or this apparent body more or less change? Because it's not a your body, or there's no ownership of a body, more or less. The body have reactions, yes, but there's no identification with the body anymore. Or
the strange thing is, there's nothing busy with that, so I don't know. It can be much more relaxation, I think so, but yeah, but it's not. That's this funny thing. There's no Rose, so there's no. We are so in that. I call it a bit like overview. You're looking at yourself and busy like, oh, how do I feel? How does the body feel? How is it going? Is it better than yesterday, than before? Something like that. That's lost. So I don't know. I don't care. Also.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Just something else. Nothing to do, nothing to know, nothing to change. That's not what they taught us in school. No, you have to learn, you have to do a lot. Not being that lazy. Yeah, that's it. Doing is very much into that. The story of me is a lot about doing and doing and doing. Doing the right thing. What is the right thing? We have to learn what is the right thing. When children are very young, they don't know. They just do. They just, and then they learn about what's the right thing, what the parents think that's the right thing. Yeah. But somewhere there's also, when children are a little bit older, like 2, 3, I don't, that the brain can abstract and think like, oh, there's somebody else, and that's important to listen. And then things are going like, oh, there's something that's underneath that. There's something like, oh, there's something not right yet anymore. There's a loss of that only one, that when babies are just one, and then suddenly there seems to be a loss of that. So there's something gone wrong somewhere. So that's the contraction of, oh, there's something wrong, and then trying to learn to know what's right, to make it right. And that's the freedom. It has nothing to do with certain behavior. It has nothing to do with anything in the story about circumstances, about what right and wrong. There is nothing right or wrong. It's what it is, and it has nothing to do with direction. So behavior, it's just behavior in a certain way. That's it. That's the freedom. There's nothing going on like how to behave. And before that, when that survivaling, it's busy. The contraction is always busy with trying to behave in a certain way, of doing the right thing, and then suddenly, oh, it has nothing to do with that. That's the freedom. It doesn't have anything to do with circumstances, with how you have to behave. It's already complete. It's like that. That's the freedom. There's also the joy, like, oh, it's everything. Wow. wow, it's everything. So there can be relaxation also in that, because there's nothing going on like this is right, is this the right thing? It's the blossoming of the character, maybe, in the story, you could say that. Oh, there's another one. Since I listened to this message, I feel less bad when I eat wrong food like chip and chocolate. Oh, so sweet. Yeah, yeah. It's just what's happening. Eating chocolate, watching television, there's so many ideas about what's right and wrong. When that's happening, there's eating chocolate. So what? I'm so into the right this in when you read on the internet, it's like always being busy with the right behavior, doing yoga now, and eating the right food, very healthy, being healthy, doing good in the world. It's everything is about good and wrong. It's the same story. It's always the same story. This is right. This is wrong. Wow, it can be boring because it's so always the same story about good and wrong. But this is very important to do it like that because, and then there's an explanation. Wow. And then there's hearing this message, it doesn't matter. It's just what's happening. And it's not about feeling good. It's everything. It's everything. So there can be pain somewhere. Yeah. That can be, yeah, of course. But it's not because of anything, and that's how do you say? You did do the wrong thing, and now you're feeling pain. That's your fault. You're guilty, and in a very simple way. And that's so normal to think about that and do. There's no guilt. There's no responsibility. It's a construct. It's just what's happening. There's no because of that. There's no because. There's no time. So there's no before and after. There's no time. There's just what's happening. And it's not because of anything. Wow, that's a freedom of guilt and responsibility and all those constructs. It's already complete. Everything is already complete. There's no need to look for it. There's no need. And when there's looking for it, then that's what's happening. So there can't be something wrong. It's that what is. It's that what is happening. There's no right and there's no wrong. It's just what's happening. There can be watching television or walking on the street. There can be walls and socks. It's not about you. There's already no me. So there's no need to look for no me and try to find it or how to get there. There's no there. There's only this. There's no there. There's only this. It's just what's happening. So nothing is serious. It seems like everything is important because I want this, but it's already this. It's already the way the looking happens. It's the moving of the hands. It's the sitting. That's it. So there's nothing which is not already the case. When there's closing the computer, then that's what's happening. That's it. It is already what's going on. So there's no need for look for it because it's already complete. It's already everything. So there's no good, there's no bad, there's no responsibility, all those guilt. It's a construct of that whole survival system of me trying to survive and trying to get on what the looking, because the best way to survive for me is the looking for it and to be busy and work on it. When there's nothing going on, then it's falling apart, but it needs to go on. And when there's nothing going on in these meetings, that whole starting to trying to get it, it's like, it's falling down because the questions dry up and it's not having questions maybe at that time, and then it's falling apart in some way, and then maybe it's a construct again. So it's not always there. That whole construct is not always there, of course. Sometimes it's really strong trying to survive, and sometimes there's biking and nothing is going on, and it's just that. So it's always there. It's everything. It's already complete. That's the freedom and the joy. No need to do anything about it. And when there's trying to do, then that's what's happening. It's not you doing that. It's what's happening. It's life. Life is everything. So it can't be not life. It's life. And there's high energy, there can be low energy, there can be lazy or much thought. That's the completeness already. Thank you. And there's also talking about cry. What I did forget is you can donate, and there's a PayPal or there's a bank account. So if you want that would be nice. So thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Rose, thank you.
Bye.
Night.
Oh, God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rose.